Hello. Welcome in, everybody. Welcome. It is another edition of the Dork Side of the Ring podcast. I am the purveyor of all things dorky within the scope of professional wrestling and sports entertainment. I am Grum, and I am Rusty. You see, I don't know if you follow me on Twitter at I am Grum. Last 2 weeks or so, 2022 has been a fun start for me. Your boy contracted COVID, so this is the first post-COVID episode, which is fitting because one of our guests today is post-cubicle, aka post-work. Get it? Because like cubicles, office. Look, it's funny, right? It's funny, haha. We laugh it out. It's a funny. It's just a coincidence, guys. I know you need to calm down. I know I'm very funny, but I need you to calm down. But it is I, Grum. Glad to have you here once again. It is. It was a good thing I have the Patreon putting episodes out a week ahead of time before I really got hit hard with COVID. COVID sucks. I'm gonna say it right now. COVID sucks. Even vaccinated, like I was like coughing, sneezing, flu-like, quote unquote, flu-like symptoms. But also, and I don't ever hear anybody talk about this when they have COVID, right? Because they're like, it's not that bad, or like, oh, it's no joke. And then you're like, well, what, how is it no joke? And which is just wild to me to be like, oh, like it was a joke until I got it. Anyways, and it might be because of the Omicron variant, but like I was dead tired. Like my body was like lead. It was to get up to like just go use the I gotta use the bathroom, gotta get up, was a hassle. Like my legs did not want to move, my muscles did not want to fire, this is awful. Like I was like that for a couple days, and not good. Get vaccinated, get boosted, wear masks, just like do everything you can. I mean, like, it's not going to prevent you from getting it 100%. There might be a chance where I did everything the way you're supposed to as well. But here we are, post-COVID. But now I have natural antibodies and artificial ones, so I am a superhero. Watch out, Hugh Jackman. I'm going to be the next Wolverine, even though I'm a little too tall for it. But that is all to say, we're back. We're back to operating as usual. We're over on the Patreon. Going to have Patreon stuff dropping this weekend. I have next week's episode that'll be out earlier this coming week. So if you're on the Patreon, keep a lookout on that. I also have the Elite of the Elite. They're getting their content out. We're going to be doing it's going to be me and Rob and Citra, and we're going to be watching, I think I've decided on Great American Bash 2000. Either that or Bash at the Beach 2000. We're doing it. We're just watching along the whole thing, alternate commentary, basically of the show. But yeah. What else do we? I think that's really about it, though. I don't think there's much else that needs to be said. But yeah, the other thing is, what is the other thing? I don't know if I had another thing. Did I have another thing? I didn't. Support.grum.tv. This is a Patreon. You go there. Grum.tv, up and operating. First stream is going to be, I think, this week. If it's not this week, I'm probably not streaming in my Discord until February, which bad job by me. But that's all the housekeeping and information. This week we got a good episode, fun episode. We got a House of Fun house match. Probably the most recent thing to date on the Dork Side of the Ring, from Wrestlemania 36 from 2020. So it's almost 2 years old now. It's a funhouse match between Bray Wyatt and John Cena. An experience that you have to see. Go out of your way and see this, because it's not wrestling, but it is on a wrestling show. But it was also entertaining. So I enjoyed this. I got Cheesey and PostCubie. We got my friends Cheesey and Kyle having good conversations. We had like a fun, it's always a fun one. It's hey, these, both were not big wrestling fans, so a lot of like, hey, here's what we're doing here, like here's what this thing was about, but also got to talk about things we enjoy. I mean, we talked about like Renaissance fairs and Star Wars and just producing stories, and just being creative, so which is good. It was a lot of fun. So we'll get into that. It's so good to be back. But thank you guys for checking out. Thank you again. Also, hey, before we get into it, do me a favor right now. As I'm talking slowly and giving you time to open up, if you're listening to this on an iPhone, go to the podcast app. Go to find the Dork Side of the Ring podcast. You obviously should be, listening. I mean, you probably listen on Spotify, the Spotify app, but they don't have reviews. I need you to open up the podcast app. I need you to go there. I need you to leave a 5-star review. It'll help us grow. Also, if you actually write out a review, those help too. I don't understand the algorithm why just clicking 5 stars isn't enough. You guys done it. I appreciate that. Some reason you got a review. The reviews are good. Reviewing is good. Feedback is good. I appreciate it. Thank you guys for all your support. It has been good. Knowing that I just didn't have the energy to do it sucked, but I knew I was going to come back as soon as possible to take care of it and get this stuff going back, to get the content machine rolling out. Starting with today's episode, me, Cheesy, PostCubie, having a conversation about the Firefly Fun House Match here on the Dork Side of the Ring podcast. That was just weird. Like it ended the call for me, but I couldn't restart a call.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's hopefully that only happens this time.
Yep.
Well, I guess I could leave that, and that's just how we come back into the podcast.
Yeah.
The nice little lead in, like, you guys, look, guys, you missed a scintillating pre-pod conversation. We were talking about boobs and dicks. You missed it all. And it all was totally recorded. Definitely was recorded.
Yes.
We're here on the Dork Side of the Ring. We've got my friends, Cheesy.
Hello?
Cheesy.
There we go, Cheesy. And we got another pal, Post-Cubicle Kyle. Kyle.
Man, I'm the artist formerly known as PostCubicle Kyle.
This is true.
You call me PostCubie.
Post-Cubie. Or Kyle. Hey, Kyle. How you doing, bud?
Hey.
Welcome to the Dork Side of the Ring, gentlemen.
Yee. We made it.
Okay.
Finally.
See, look at it. Yeah.
We made it.
We're finally here. We did.
Finally. Months in the making.
I know, dude. How long have we been trying to plan this?
I probably messaged both of you in September about it. So, and for context, we're recording this. It's the week of Thanksgiving, specifically the day that our other pals episode, Foxy and Gus's episode, dropped. Wild. It took some unfortunate events in some of our lives to get here, but we're here now to have some good times.
We made it. Hell yeah.
We made it. I'm here.
We're here. All right. So, before we get super duper underway, I'd like to have you guys introduce yourself, tell the people a little bit about yourself, plug stuff you do, work on, enjoy, want to bring awareness to, all the kit and caboodle stuff. We like to start alphabetically and such. We're going to start with my friend Cheesy. Cheesy, tell the people a little bit about yourself, where they can find your stuff and whatnot.
Hi, I'm Cheesy, and I'm going to be a pro Halo player. You can find me on socials. The Real Cheesy is pretty much my name on all socials. I really like video games and video games playing, and I've streamed on Twitch annually, and that's about it for me.
Don't forget about the white boy dance, Cheesy white boy dance. You coined that? It's yours?
Nope, not anymore. Never again.
Okay, you're white. You're allowed to say it's white.
You lost the privilege to say it, did you?
He's a real man now. Cheesy grew up, put on a
grew
suit, got a real job, and stopped doing the white boy dance.
I can't believe it. Bring it back for TwitchCon 2022.
Yeah.
We'll all meet together. Just TwitchCon 2022, otherwise known as Cheesy White Boy Dance Back. On the other side of the call, we've got the good homie Kyle. How you doing, bud? Tell the people a little bit about yourself and the what you got going on.
Okay.
And such.
Hey guys, I'm Kyle. You can find me at PostCubie on everything but Facebook. And yeah, I'm community manager, unemployed. Watched several episodes of wrestling in my life, but I don't know. I have no idea who any of the people are, so excited to be here.
All right. Well, interesting. Because the next part of this is that I ask you guys a little bit about your experience with professional wrestling.
I didn't mean to jump the gun. Sorry.
No. It's good because then we get into it. So you haven't. So a couple episodes. When you say you don't know anything, what you really mean is you don't know a lot. But if I told you a couple names,
that's true.
Because I had somebody the other day, we were recording, and they told me, "Hey, I don't know anything about wrestling." I'm like, "Well, do you know John Cena?" I'm like, yes, I know John Cena.
Yeah,
but surprisingly,
I have a general idea of wrestling.
I've never seen him before, by the way.
No one has. That's the unfortunate thing, you know. He's an all-time great, funny guy. No one's ever seen the guy in person, though.
He's like the Sasquatch. It's crazy.
I don't understand how people can enjoy. I could see him on my television. I think they have it set to the camera where they can see him, which is cool.
Right,
or they maybe cover him some butter or something, so he's it's all the oil, right? So and the pants, you can see him. Special pants.
Yeah,
but I've never seen him in person.
Filter on the lights. There's a filter on the lights in the arena that'll allow him to be seen.
But yeah, I brought up other ones, and I'm like, Hulk Hogan. They're like, no, and I'm like, how do you I'm like, wild to me.
How do you not know Hulk Hogan?
Yeah.
Who's that?
Even if you only know him from the fact that he's a bad guy and said some not pleasant things, you still
right.
he's been in the cultural zeitgeist for almost 40 years now. So I feel like.
True.
It's hard to not know who that is.
Yeah, let me rephrase. I know enough about wrestling to talk about it, but I'm not familiar with the culture.
Okay. Gotcha.
There you go.
I've never seen Macho Man Randy Savage before.
You've never
only Macho Man Grum.
Have you never snapped into a Slim Jim there, Cheesy? Never?
Nope, never ever.
I remember those commercials.
Right? There were some. I miss the days of good commercials that had.
Oh
character.
yeah.
Oh, all the
Step into a Slim Jim.
Your parents go, "Oh, I love this commercial." Do they do that to you?
Yes.
I don't watch TV, parents. Also, I don't really care about enjoying this Liberty Mutual ad.
I love what he does with the emu. It's the only reason why I know that is because every so often it'll show up on a YouTube ad.
YouTube ad, right?
Yeah. I know 30 seconds and the 15-second version of this. Yeah, no. I love this.
Have you seen that? Oh, well, you don't watch TV. But have you seen this ad where
I got coworkers that'll do that shit, but they'll do this shit where they're like, it's a commercial. Look it up on your phone. Google it on your phone. Google it on your phone.
Upload ads to YouTube still these days. Funny
two
ads.
words. Movie. Long time running. Yeah.
Yeah. What am I the one time where I'm like, all right, I'll humor you. What should I search? It's the commercial with the guy who. It's a beer commercial, and I'm like, buddy, you're gonna have to be which beer in particular. It was either Coors or Bud Light. Maybe it was Heineken. I'm like, thank you for listing the three most commercialized ones. Okay, yeah, sure. But yeah, no, that's good. Okay, enough to have a conversation about wrestling. That's good because we are going to have a conversation about wrestling for a little bit. Where we go from there is who fucking knows. Cheesy, what about you? What's your experience with professional wrestling?
I've probably watched like maybe 2 hours total in my entire life, but I know enough about meme culture to know a lot of them.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah, of course.
If you name off wrestlers, I've probably heard of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm familiar with the Randy Savage Skyrim mod.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
That's my favorite one.
Fus
I know.
Yeah.
I know Stone Cold Steve Austin,
Yeah,
the
of course,
Undertaker.
Of course.
Yeah. Jim Ross, maybe the announcer.
Yep. Oh, that's his name.
Nope.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
The wobbly suit pants guy.
Wobbly Super.
That's what he is.
No, Wobbly Suit Pants is Vince McMahon.
Okay.
You're talking about he struts out, but he's like wobbling in his suit.
Right.
Yeah.
The guy with the facial expressions.
Yeah, that's Vince McMahon. Jim Ross is Stone Cold. Or by God is my witness, he is broken in half. Like
I don't know what that is.
Okay.
That's never graced my timeline.
Really? Okay. There was today somebody did it. LeBron James got into a fight on the court.
What? I might have seen something.
And somebody put it over where the other player was Stone Cold.
Yeah, I've seen something then, I guess.
That's great.
Okay.
That's good.
All right, so not too much, but enough to know some people. That's good.
Yeah.
That's about on par with everybody's, knowledge of guests. I have the rare person who knows wrestling, but that's mostly hey, like you definitely don't know this thing though. But yeah, and most of my guests, and my friends, not so much well-versed, not adverse, but well-versed in professional wrestling and sports entertainment to really know what's going on, which it's fine, especially today, because today's going to be a fun one, because today's a more recent one that has happened, and I feel like it got some traction on people's timeline, and it might look familiar, and it does involve John Cena, but we'll get to that in a second, because I want to ask a little bit more about...
Oh, dang.
About some contextual things. I always like to
I'm
ask
just hoping we can see him,
We should be able to see him. Unless of course the Peacock network has found a way to not be captured. In which case then I'm really fucked. So what we've got is a couple. We've got a fun thing today, and I want a heavy emphasis on fun because. You guys ever gone to a carnival fun house?
Yeah.
Like once.
Yeah, like one time.
Was it not the most fun house you have ever been?
No.
Listen, let me tell you about a fan house, though, you can only subscribe to.
Hey-o!
Continue.
That was good. Lloyd, that was good. Kyle has a fan house where you can...
Shut up.
See pictures of his skateboard.
There you go.
Yeah.
Suggestive pictures of his skateboard.
I'm on a safe for work platform. Get out of here.
It is.
It's safe work. You can bend the rules a little bit.
Never.
No, yeah.
That's...
That was good. Hell, that was I didn't even think about that before asking about the fun house. Tee you up for a fan house. All right. So, not big fans of fun houses here. That's fine, not every we don't all have to enjoy the same things. I enjoy a good fun house, walking through the distorted mirrors and being like, that's what I look like if I just look like if I just look like that. All right. What about carnivals in general? Like big time carnival fans, goers maybe?
I go to like the Renaissance Festival maybe once a year.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah. I'm like, you could say that I'm a Renaissance connoisseur.
Wow.
Ooh. Do you get like the turkey leg every time you go?
Oh yeah, dude. You have to. That's a staple.
I was gonna say.
I haven't dressed up in a while, but my friends do, and probably I will next year.
Cheesy rolls up in his Air Force Ones and walking into the
many pocketed cargo
one
pants.
turkey leg, please.
You think I'm
don't
made
get
out
any drip on
million?
the drip.
You think I'm made out of money that I can wear Supreme hoodies, dude? Get out of here.
Yeah, I'm just fucking.
It's showing up. Hey, look, do not. I want it sauce, but not too saucy. All right, can't get the
Not as
sauce.
saucy as me.
Not as saucy as me. All right.
If it looked like me, you're too saucy.
Yeah. I need to be the second most saucy thing in here behind me. You know. Meanwhile, the guy's just like, just take this leg.
Yeah, it's like, dude, take your change and get the fuck out of here.
No, man, Renaissance fairs are fun as hell, though, man. I haven't been to one in a while, but they're just a blast to go to. I don't dress up for it. I also don't like, dress up for it like you are, Cheesy. Like, you're going there stunting on them.
Yeah.
This is how the modern man dresses. Get out of here with you.
I love carnivals. I grew up going to a carnival. I love them. And fairs. There's a big fair near me. I think they're great.
So much fun. The CYO fairs were always the most fun, which is very funny. Like the Catholic youth organizations, they're like, it's like sponsored by the church, but like they're like not. But they're like, we just have all this money because of shit. So here, let's get the fun houses. Let's get some bouncy houses, multiple funnel cake vendors, which is very good because like I liked hitting every single one of them. See if there was any different. There wasn't. I mean, there's only so many ways you can make. There's only so many ways you can make funnel cake, in particular, one way. We had a lot of sugary foods and people getting sick on the what is it, the tilt-a-whirl. Always a good time. Always a good time. I wish I had the bravery to like when the tilt-a-whirl's going, when the people are like, yeah, let me like turn upside down as we're doing this and just be safe to do this because of how fast this is going. Never could do that. Never had the balls to do it. Always was afraid.
I feel like I'd probably hurl if I did that. So probably why I've never done the tilt-a-whirl.
Yeah, tilt-a-whirl's a lot of fun, but not trying it. Not trying it.
For me.
So the reason I bring up carnivals and fun houses is because today's topic is from WrestleMania 36, which is WrestleMania 2020, which happened at the start of the pandemic. So no fans in attendance, and WWE was getting a little creative with their presentation and such. And one of the matches being the Firefly Fun House Match between Bray Wyatt and John Cena. It is. I will prep the two of you beforehand. It is nothing like any wrestling match you've ever seen or seen a video about or anything. It is very, very unique in the presentation. And it's one of the reason why I bring it on the dark side of the ring is because it's hard to explain, even in the context of professional wrestling, everything that happens in this match. And to people like the two of you who have not really, watched a lot of wrestling, this is going to even look less wrestling than you're accustomed to. So we're going to be watching that from WrestleMania 36, Night 2, on the Peacock Network. It is WrestleMania Season 36, Episode 2. Timestamp is 2 hours, 42 minutes, and 54 seconds. We're going to go watch this. We'll be back to talk about it on the other side here on the Dark Side of the Ring podcast. Just taking a break from the podcast just to remind you of a couple things of what I got cooking here, my content creation station over here. We've got Grum.tv. That's the Discord link now. Why? Because that's where I'm creating my live content. My live streams are now going to be in my Discord, streaming in my community, Grum.tv. Go there. Just simple as that. You go there, you watch some live content as well. I also got my YouTube. YouTube is, you just look for T-Grum on YouTube. A couple more subscribers and I get the custom hyperlink, which then it can just be youtube.com/T-Grum. But simple as that. You go there, putting out weekly videos, Nuzlocks, I got this roleplay playthrough of Fallout 4 called Pip-Boy and Me, where my friends join me and they voice the Pip-Boy, and so it's kind of like a fun thing. I got the Six to My Stomach series coming out later this week. The first episode is 6 worst things Philly sports fans have ever done. It's a fun one. A lot of bad things, a lot of quote-unquote bad things that they've done, and some actually bad things that they've done. So you get to see where I rank them. That's going to be later this Friday, the 21st. Yeah, that 21st. Also, go to, you can continue to listen to Dork Side of the Ring, what you're listening to right now. Support us there. Dork Side Ring on Twitter and Instagram. Go find Dork Side of the Ring podcast on your preferred app for podcasting. If it's Apple, you go to the Apple Podcast or leave a 5-star review. That'd be great. And you go to the Patreon. Patreon is simply support.grum.tv. You get early episodes, early access to videos. You get early credits on videos as well at certain tiers. You get exclusive content as well if you want to get the watch-alongs and the live reactions of my guests watching this things for the first time, the conversations we have, then that'd be great. That's there too. Also, at the $25 tier, you'll get full-on exclusive content, such as just like a mystery theater watch-along style of an entire event. So that's going there at support.grum.tv. Thank you for the support. Let's get back to the fun house. and that is it. That is the
Wow.
that was, I should say, the Firefly Fun House Match. I wanted to say Money in the Bank, but that's because I'm looking at the thing. So first impressions, Cheesy, of the Firefly Fun House Match.
It was a great theater performance. I feel like they all went to college and got a degree in theater arts, and I'm proud that they finally got to use their theater art degree in WWE.
Wow. Theater art degree.
Jeez. What about you there, Kyle? First impression of the Firefly Funhouse match.
Oh, I mean, that embodied everything that I kind of thought about wrestling. It was really fun. All I could think about was how much fun that probably was to work on. Like everybody involved with that, all of the wrestlers, all of the filmers and editors, everyone probably had a really good time with that.
Yeah, like I think they did that. I think it was maybe done in about a week. It probably was all shot in like a day, and then everything edited and put together in a couple of days. Like, it's one of those.
Wow, that's quick.
Yeah, the thing with like WWE is like they had a live show, or not a live show, but they had a show the week before, and so they like the line about how this WrestleMania match will be about ending the most overhype, overpromise, under delivering, overvalued superstar in WWE history. That was the like Friday before. That aired, I should say, the Friday before. So they may have taped it a day or two before, but it's one of the things of like, damn, like the pandemic era, just early pandemic for WWE was so interesting because you didn't have anybody in the crowds. You just had the performers. So it was like a soundstage almost. So you had these nice little clean cut, no, didn't have to like edit out the audience in the promo. And it was just nice because it's like, yeah, we're just taking these lines as is, and then we're going to repurpose them somewhere else.
Yeah, that was really cool. It was inventive, creative stuff. So,
when I said to you that there was you guys that this was unlike any wrestling match, it's not gonna. It's completely does. It's not gonna look anything like wrestling. Was I right to you guys, or was it?
I think you were right. Yeah, I mean, like I was expecting like an actual like wrestling match, and like getting up the ladder and throwing chairs at each other and doing the suplexes, all that stuff, and that was definitely not what I expected at all.
What about you, Kyle?
Yeah. I mean, I kind of see wrestling as a huge production, right? Like,
Okay.
whenever I see
Yeah.
wrestling, I think of the whole thing as the whole thing of itself. So to me, I was like, we didn't see a wrestling match, but that was 100% what I expect out of wrestling.
That's interesting you say that, because like it took me a while to get to that point myself, where I'm like, yeah, no, this is wrestling at it. This is
Yeah,
WWE at its
that was just a
like,
production from a wrestling house, is what that
yeah.
was. That's what
Yeah.
that was. Yeah.
They told a nice 12-minute story. Like, that was somebody's short film. Like
Now,
yeah.
I could understand being disappointed, like as a wrestling fan, wanting to see wrestling because fuck,
Yeah.
dude, wrestling's cool. It looks
Mhm.
cool, and I think that if they wanted to improve upon what they did, which I think they could, I think they could. You know what I mean? Like,
Mhm.
that felt like a content creator production as much as it did, a wrestling production.
Mm.
But,
Well,
but maybe lean into the rest. I want to see some wrestling, bro.
well, it's funny you say that. So last year, and so going forward, it seems WWE is going to have WrestleMania be on 2 nights, which is probably for the best. But
Yeah, interesting.
But 2 years ago, WrestleMania 36 was the first time it ever went to 2 nights, and they're like, we have already advertised like 17 matches, and there's no way we're doing that all on one night with no fans. Like, no one's gonna watch that. Also, nobody's like nobody's doing anything. Like, we're the only thing that's going on right now. Like, TV shows are not producing new episodes, sports aren't happening, we're the only ones. So let's kind of take advantage of that and be like, hey, Saturday and Sunday night. So Saturday night, they closed the show with another cinematic match featuring The Undertaker. Which is probably closer to what you're thinking about, Kyle, is having some more action, and it was a boneyard match, basically a buried alive match, but they did it on a set. They found some farm in Florida. They dug a hole.
Smart as hell.
Yeah, and they had The Undertaker ride a motorcycle. They shot it at like 4 a.m, so it was dark. They had, they told the story of AJ Styles, his opponent, had crossed a line personally and brought up like Undertaker's wife, and Undertaker's like, look, like, you're getting the unholy trinity, which later through watching it, you're like, oh, okay, so it's the dead man Undertaker, it's American Badass Undertaker, it's Mark Calloway, the human being. Okay, so I understand this. Okay, but it's like an action movie almost, where
That's cool.
like he's fighting a whole bunch. Like, Undertaker is fighting him. They're fighting. AJ Styles brought a hearse to the match. They're fighting each other on top of it. He's throwing them in like through sugar glass windows. And
Wait, you're telling me there's more than one Undertaker?
There is one Undertaker. There's many forms of this
Undertakers?
No, there's just the single.
Oh my god, bro, they're undertaking over.
Blowing my mind.
No, so Undertaker has gone through many forms. He's been like the dead man, where he's like kind of like this zombie like undead mortician thing. He's been like this satanic figure, Undertaker. He's been the American Badass, which is like kind of just like himself, like just riding motorcycles, and then back to like some hybrid of the two of them later in his career. But no, this is like, I think this is more of like what you were talking about, right? Where you wanted, like, from the sounds of it, you're like, look, there's ways to do it better, maybe a little bit more action, and I feel like that's probably closer to what you'd be, and maybe we'll watch it at some point in the future. But it's definitely a interesting like the idea of doing, and they've done a lot of cinematic. There was like almost for a stretch they had like a cinematic match once a month. On every event, because they're like, look, there's no fans. Might as well try this. They did there's a event called Money in the Bank where there is 2 matches, one for women, one for the men, where the winner gets a guaranteed world title shot of their choosing whenever they want, wherever they want for a whole year.
That's dope.
So in 2020, they did it as a cinematic match where you had to climb the WWE headquarters. At the top of the headquarters. What? Yeah. So both the matches started at the same time, and they go from the ground floor all the way through, and there's Easter eggs for like longtime fans who are like, oh hey, that's so and so, or like, oh, that's funny that they're doing that because of this, and there's other ones where like 2 big people ran into the smallest like human in the room. They interrupted Vince McMahon during a meeting, and they're just like beating the shit out of each other, and he's just like, guys, get out of my office, I'm in the middle of something. But it did involve 2 people getting thrown off of buildings, or like they're thrown off the roof, and they're like, they landed on a small, a lower level roof, they're fine, they're not dead. There's a match in a swamp bayou. What else was there? There's a couple other ones where like they clearly took advantage of the fact that there weren't fans, so they like pre-recorded something and had it heavily edited, for like stunts.
Yeah, I noticed a lot of that.
Yeah,
that's cool though. I mean, honestly, like wrestling is usually they're telling a story, right? Even though it's physical and everything, they are telling a story. And I think it was interesting that they tried to do something with a new medium. Like, good for them.
Yeah,
that's cool.
There's only so much you can do you can only reinvent the wheel so many times. Like we had brought up, you would ask because there's in the match there is or production, in case somebody's listening, like it's not a match, but whatever.
It's not real wrestling.
It's not my real wrestling. You brought up, Kyle. You're like, oh, like the New World Order. What's that? And about 25 years ago, wrestling kind of like was forced to evolve, because everybody knows wrestling is scripted, everybody's in on it, it's not an actual competition, but for even through the late or the early 90s, like people are still thinking it's being presented as, hey, these are real people wrestling, and these are
it's all part of the act
and
the performance in itself.
In 1996, Eric Bischoff, the guy in the older footage when Bray Wyatt was the guy that he was pantomiming, decided to have a more realistic approach to professional wrestling. And he brought in 2 guys from WWE and basically had them kind of be their previous gimmicks, but as their regular names. They brought in Scott Hall, who was known as formerly as Razor Ramon, and Kevin Nash, who was known previously as Diesel. And they're like, yeah, we're here to take over this company because this company is shit. Like, we're here from WWE. We're here to take over. And that's the moment where like they're addressing Eric Bischoff, who at this time was just known as an announcer, as the president. And like, look, come on, president, give us we want a match. You want to settle the score, fine, give us a match on your programming. Yeah. They would never walk out from behind the curtains. They'd always walk through the crowd to get to the ring. And that's when Hulk Hogan, going from being the red and yellow superhero babyface good guy that everybody loved and eat your vitamins, say your prayers, and then he just drops a leg on the Macho Man and everybody freaks the fuck out to the point they're pelting the ring with empty cups and popcorn bags and just everything.
Incredible. Just like total upset everywhere.
Everybody in the arena is like thinking he's coming down to save WCW, save the company, be the good guy, be the hero. Nope. And from that point after, they continuously kind of pull the curtain back a little bit, and because at this point you're like, yeah, no, all this stuff, you know, the detractors are gonna be like, that's fake, that's not real, and they're like, all right, fine, but you can't say that the NWO is not real because they're using their real names and they're saying things like, you know, they're talking about, you know, their paychecks and they're talking about this and they gotta be real because if they're not real, then I don't know what is. Like people, there's a story.
Yeah.
They grabbed or they were beating up people in the back in like the parking lot of the show to the point where people are calling the cops and saying that there was an attack in the parking lot of the arena, and the cops show up arresting everybody. So they had to go to commercial because the cops legitimately showed up and they're like, what's going on here? And they're like, hey, it's wrestling, calm down. And cops like,
That's amazing.
yeah. But like it goes to the thing of like, you know, if you get so engrossed with it, it doesn't matter. Like, doesn't matter that
I really like that. I like the idea of buying into the show.
Mm-hmm.
That's super fun.
So I got some questions here. I like to have some questions that guide some stuff, but also to touch on some things. Now, is there, because like we were talking about, this is like a very production. Is there a movie or a story that you would want WWE to just cast its own wrestlers to tell? Like, for example, like I would love to see a WWE produced Romeo and Juliet.
That's an interesting concept.
Right?
I would love to see a Marvel movie. Oh wait.
Let me think about that. Oh man, good question.
Yeah, right? Because it's like when I'll buy you time by talking. I'm very good at it. So like my thought process in asking this question is like, WB is also always about we tell stories, and they try to tell their own stories, but really every story has already been told. You're just telling a different version of it.
Definitely.
And like Romeo and Juliet is one of those ones where it's like, this is kind of like the documented one of the first of its kind, where it's like, hey, like everybody dies. It's not a happy ending. Spoiler alert: both Romeo and Juliet die.
Yeah.
Man,
but that's really, I don't know. That's really cool.
And I haven't seen that movie before. What are you? Oh my god! You just spoiled the whole thing for me.
You haven't seen the play either? God, what a you go to Renaissance fairs, but you've never seen Romeo and Juliet, you uncultured swine.
Yeah, I never went to English class either.
Can't believe you failed. I don't know how you got here. How'd you make it through life so much? Jeez.
You can't see me. That's my secret.
Are you John Cena?
Maybe. I could be.
I've never seen John Cena. But I have seen Cheesy.
Yeah, so you could be me, you know?
You bring
nice unanswered questions.
So Cheesy said Marvel movie. Anyone in particular?
I want John Cena to do a movie for Marvel since he just did one for DC.
Okay.
And just be like a villain. I mean, he could be like Rhino from Spider-Man.
He'd play a good Rhino. Yeah.
He would be a good Rhino, yeah.
He'd be a great Rhino.
I'm still upset we never got Paul Giamatti's Rhino.
For real.
Like,
where's that?
Where is it, Sony? Bring me my Russian animatronic Rhino.
Yeah, where's the Rhino from Turtles in Time, dude?
Oh,
I'm waiting until they bring him into the MCU.
Cheesy, dude. Turtles in Time isn't Marvel.
It could be.
I mean, at this rate, you're not wrong. They could buy it up. Who knows?
Yeah. I can't wait to see Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles in the Marvel universe, dude.
Yeah, we'll get the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles before we get the X-Men.
Yes.
This is wild. What about you, Kyle? Do you have an answer on a production or a story?
You know, I don't.
Okay.
I think anything like the classic Romeo and Juliet or man, I don't know. That's a hard question.
Othello.
Star Wars.
A Shakespearean play would be really cool. Like I mean, Star Wars is practically the hero's tale. It's just an archetype of a story, right?
Yeah, yeah,
But yeah, I think anything Shakespearean would be really neat to see.
yeah. Like just to have it overproduced, but like also
Yeah.
over the top.
Get all the archetypes and elements in there of the story, right? Like,
Yeah,
the characters, the comedic relief, yeah, just like that's like because like I mean, it's theater. Let's be real, and like it's kind of its own theater where they can kind of put on stories in their own ways, and yeah, that'd be neat.
I think it is interesting that we both kind of had the like, hey, like the Shakespearean idea. I've often held this belief that wrestling is the last the last living form of Shakespearean theater.
I can hear that.
Where like, Shakespeare, the crowd was above the stage was in the center of a building, 360-degree, audience, and and then he told stories in front of the crowd, and the crowd was able to react, and the audience being active participants changed how the story was going. If they're enjoying something, hey, we're going to continue this a little bit, and I feel like when that gets brought, and I'm not the first to bring that up. I'm 100% borrowing it from Austin Creed, the professional wrestler who otherwise known as Xavier Woods. He's the first to bring it up, and he explained it in a very eloquent way for some smart people. And I'm like, I'm dumb. I understood this though, so I'm going to borrow this whenever somebody tries to shit talk professional wrestling to me, where it's like, oh, well, how can you watch it? And it's like Shakespearean theater, pal.
Yeah, that makes sense to me, dude. I get it.
Yeah. I don't know. Is it?
Fan.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know. I enjoy this. Like I appreciate. I should say I appreciate the action, like the physicality of professional wrestling. I enjoy it 99% of the time. But if there's no story that goes along with it, I'm not about it. Like I need, even if it's something simple as like, hey, like I don't like this guy, and I want to win this match. Simple as that. That's fine.
That's how I play Halo.
You just don't like anybody, huh?
Yeah.
What about
Get him out of here?
Would you watch a WWE production of the original Halo trilogy story there?
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely, 100%.
Who are you casting as Master Chief?
John Cena.
Okay. You gonna be able to see him in his armor?
Yeah, he's got the armor on, so he's not a ghost anymore.
Okay.
But as soon as he takes off his helmet, you can't see him.
So Cheesy, being that you're on the Halo kick, I have to ask. The is Halo Reach the best single story in the Halo?
No.
Wow, really?
It's definitely good.
It's great. I don't think it's the best. I would probably go Halo 2.
Okay.
Halo 2 is pretty good, yeah.
I just loved that you could play as the Arbiter. It was the first time ever that you could play, not just the Master Chief, and like you got to see the story from both sides of the world.
Okay, that's neat. All right, because I know a lot of people are like, yeah, no, like Halo Reach, that's the best story in that franchise, and I'm like,
yeah, don't get me wrong, I loved it.
I do always enjoy. I mean, that's why I like Rogue One. Like, I think Rogue One is maybe my favorite Star Wars film.
I agree with that. I think Rogue One, as far as the story goes, I think is my favorite out of all of them.
Yeah. There's something about knowing that nobody's going to survive. Like,
yes.
But how the hell am I going to get there? Like, I want to see what happens. Like, how do they all die?
Yeah, it's like, you know the story, but you don't.
Yeah. The blind force what was it? Not because he wasn't a Jedi, he just felt the force.
Force feeler.
I wanted to say force feeler, but I'm like I don't think that's the right terminology. And meanwhile, Kyle's over there fucking Arthur fisting the hell out of it because I couldn't get the term. him just walking out, being like, "I'm trusting the Force," and it's like,
Oh man, I like that movie a lot.
yeah. Is it top 3 for you, Kyle?
I don't know. It varies for me.
Okay. I still have yet to watch Last Skywalker.
What did you say? Sorry.
I've yet to watch the last one.
Oh yeah, you're not missing anything. You don't have to worry about it.
But I always enjoy seeing your memes, specifically about the last one. I'm just like, I don't understand this, but it's funny. Like,
I found it entertaining. I don't think it's terrible, but I mean, it's not the best one, but
it's pretty terrible.
I don't know. I wouldn't be like, no, you can't see that movie. Like, I think everyone should experience it at least once.
Yeah, that's not what I said, but it is pretty terrible.
Not at all.
Both things can be true. It's terrible, but if you like Star Wars, you can see it.
Yeah, look, it's I don't know. It's definitely not on the list of things I have to watch. But I definitely do want to watch it. I like Last Jedi. But I feel like that's a polarizing film of itself. I don't know. It just something about watching a ship go through another ship at fucking light speed is
dude, that's fucking the best.
It's so good, right? Like it's like, all right, everything about, and from that moment on, the movie just is cranked up. But
Did you watch the Star Wars Vision stuff, the anime Star Wars?
No, there's a lot of.
Oh, it's so good.
Super fun.
I want to watch that. I want to watch the new Clone Wars on Disney Plus. I've heard good things about that.
The Squad.
Yeah, Squad. Want to watch that? Bad Batch comes out.
Bad Batch, isn't that what it is?
Is it? There's one about, there is a Squad. I feel like bad. Maybe it is. Maybe we are conflating the two together. The Bad Batch. I know Kenobi.
I need to finish that. Yeah.
I know Kenobi's soon.
Yeah, I'm excited for that.
Which is very funny when people are like getting upset. They're, and very similar to wrestling, because both fandoms like overanalyze the actual content. People are like, "Whoa, didn't they think Kenobi was dead?" And it's like, yeah, they don't say at what point he thought Kenobi was dead. Like, if you at the end of the third one, he, spoiler alert, Kenobi leaves him for dead, and then you don't see him again until the fourth, and it's I know how you see, like, oh, like, Ben Kenobi, I thought you were dead. Obi-Wan, I thought you were dead. It's like, it's clearly there's something in between where he's like, oh, there's a reason why he was dead. But I don't know. I'm glad Hayden Christensen is back.
Yeah.
Like, make good. It wasn't his fault that the writing was god fucking awful. Like,
yeah, like sand.
I don't. It's coarse.
Everything's like sand.
It's coarse and it gets everywhere. It's like, cool. What? Anything else? I don't like. Look, I still get like some feeling when he's like, hey, like he's telling, look, I killed them. I slaughtered them.
Slaughtered them like animals.
Like, it's like, wow, okay, like there was something here. There was something here. But
listen, everyone loves the clown on him, but like,
yeah,
you fucking loved it when you saw it. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
Quit making fun of it. You were absolutely into it then, and you are now.
Dude, it's now.
But also, it's cool to make fun of it. Like,
yeah, yes. Like, you can like I make fun of wrestling all the fucking time. I still love it.
Exactly.
Like, yeah. I find
that's the whole point.
I find that, like, there's definitely the generational divide, right? Where if you saw the original trilogy first, you hold them in higher regard. And it's like, yeah, but if you go back and watch them objectively without nostalgia glasses, some of those lines are just as corny. Like, yes. I love you. I know. What? Like, excuse me? Or just, just in general, things in like, oh, like, they saved him. They spent they spent like 15 minutes with the Carbonite, Han Solo, and now we're just back to acting as if that just didn't happen. Like there's objectively problems with the storytelling and the whole franchise. That's kind of the trademark of it. You don't give a fuck about the storytelling, the minor details. You just want to hit the big parts. And it's kind of like pro wrestling, but difference is pro wrestling is, if you just watch like Monday Night Raw, it's 3 hours a week. So you sit there and overanalyze 180 minutes of just, television and going, oh, well, this story doesn't make sense. Yeah, because the story's not being finished told. You don't say that shit at the end of the fucking, like, imagine if people did that in other movies,
bro,
right?
I don't have energy for those kind of people. I just don't.
No, like, it's just
in my life.
Just enjoy it. And if you didn't enjoy it, just don't enjoy. Like,
I don't even see those people on my timeline, bro.
No. They're not worth it. It's so not worth it. I like the other day, or last night as we're recording this, WWE had their annual Survivor Series pay-per-view, and during one of the matches, the crowd just started doing the wave, like they were just bored, and then like a small section, but loud enough that it got picked up on the crowd mics. Were chanting for somebody who has not been with the company for 7 years and is actively in a different company. And it's like, you spent $300 for those tickets, and you're gonna sit there and just start, if you're not having a good time and you're bored, get up and leave. Mm-hmm. Like, you've already spent your money, you're not getting it back. Like, so why decide to actively just be a distraction and a dickhead, really? It's like the people who boo in a movie theater because they disagree. That ever happened to you guys?
No, I don't think I've actually had someone boo in a movie theater before. Thank God. Like, I usually try and go to the movie theaters where they tell you to shut the fuck up and watch the movie instead of talk and be on your phone. Mm-hmm. And it's fantastic. And they serve you food and alcohol. It's like, what more could you ask for?
Dude, movie taverns are so... I went to my first one the other week with my girlfriend. Holy shit, I've been missing out in my life.
Yes.
I got to order ordered food right from my seat. Saw Dune, eating chicken tenders, watching Dune. Dune?
Yeah. You know what? I might go see... You know what? What's tomorrow?
Tomorrow's Tuesday.
I don't work tomorrow at all.
Do it.
I'm gonna go see Dune, and I'm gonna go see Dune with a meal in one of those movie places.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. Treat yourself.
Yeah. This time of year is the big time for I mean, I think
there's nobody there anymore.
Yeah, like we went on a Friday. Not that many people around, and I mean, it doesn't help, or I guess it doesn't help the theaters, but it definitely helps the consumers that like you could stay home and watch Dune. But being in a movie theater for Dune is very... The only thing I still can't get over is Jason Momoa's character's name's Duncan, Idaho. And it's like set in, it's set in the year like 11,000.
Yeah, sci-fi for it.
Like, his name's Duncan, Idaho. It's like, why? Why the fuck is this man's last name? It's everyone else has these like regal and very important sounding names, and then it's like Duncan, Idaho.
And then they got like John and like Steve,
Yeah, this strong names that are definitely going to stand the test of time. Duncan is not going to be a name that stands the test of time. There will be a point in time where we just never call people Duncan ever again.
Yeah.
It's just a wild, funny. It's like you said, very obvious that this is a 80s sci-fi, style story. I'm excited for the second one, but that's not going to be for another year and a half. So,
yeah,
it's disappointing. I wish they were doing the production. I guess it's probably better for everybody involved if they didn't just do what like
The
Endgame.
Matrix.
Yeah, like what every other one thing, which is like, hey, let's get we got the big finale. Let's make sure it's out the next year. So
Yeah.
but I don't know. It's a good cast, very well worth it. I think that's a good call. Al, I think that's a fantastic way to spend your day.
Thanks.
Eating,
Yeah.
going to a movie tavern and watching Dune, just or any movie in general. Another thing about this match, so the Fiend character, very obviously supposed to give you the heebie-jeebies, with the mask and just the thing about the match going into it is a lot of people were like, "Oh, I can't wait to see the Fiend. This is probably gonna be like no disqualification, weapons type match and with the Fiend." But you didn't even really see him. You saw him at the end for 2.5 minutes of the whole thing. But my question is, kind of going back, relating to the movies discussion as well. Would you pay to see an entire, or would you be interested in an entire movie franchise with the Fiend as like the horror movie villain, a la like Jason, Freddy Krueger, Michael Myers?
Yeah.
Okay.
Why
What about
not?
you?
Of course, why not?
Yeah. What about you, Cheesy?
Are
you a big
sure?
You a big horror movie guy?
Not really. So I don't know if I'd pay
Yeah, me
for
too.
it.
Yeah, I'm not
No.
really into horror that much.
Is it just like no interest, or you're like, yeah, I don't need the jump
I
scares?
just don't.
Yeah,
I have limited energy in my life, and that's not one of the
Gotcha.
things that gets spent on.
That's fair.
Yeah,
That's fair, yeah.
I think bigger like action, sci-fi, comedy
Okay.
rather than horror.
Do you think Bray Wyatt has a future as a children's television show host?
Yes, absolutely. He crushed it. His performance was Emmy award winning.
Emmy Award winning. Jeez, that's high praise. High praise. I want to go. I think there's room for improvement. Mainly having child content. But he definitely knocks it out of the park. The whole demented child television show host.
He could be the next Steve from Blue's Clues,
Blues could do, we could too, and then everything just gets fucking distorted and horrified.
Yes, I would absolutely love that.
Everything starts looking like a Bloodborne world. What? I'm just envisioning him with the green hood sweater, and pen and crayon, just like using the rabbit instead of blue.
Fantastic.
Oh man, what about you, Kyle? You think Bray Wyatt's got it in him to be the next Mr. Rogers?
Yeah, I did like the play on that. That was fun.
So, like, the thing with that, right, is when that he debuted that gimmick probably about a year earlier, but they did like little vignettes or smaller promos for him as just the host, so nobody thought that he'd be this Fiend character. And when he started coming out, I was like, all right, this is kind of creepy. And the idea was that he had been pushed to such a extreme that he had a psychotic break, and he literally had like the only way he could cope with everything that happened was the Fiend, took care of, basically was, if somebody had wronged him, the Fiend would go back and get revenge for him. So basically avenging like the trauma that was caused to him. Like he, early on he's wrestling and being in programs with people who, like John Cena, were a cause of a lot of trauma for him, and add to the whole psychotic break of, I lost to you, I can't handle that. Oh, you embarrassed me. Oh, you made me be a failure. Oh, you left me alone. And like those type of things. And he only had like 1 or 2 matches where he was just as Bray Wyatt in a sweater, and very clear that he was portraying a character who was not all there physically. Like he was laughing as he's being like put in an abdominal stretch. Like he's having pain given to him and he's laughing. Which helped. I thought helped, but he just, I don't know. In ring wasn't quite there. Character work though, incredible there stuff. I think my favorite of his little side characters in the thing was Mr. McBossman, who was so happy with the thing. So
Fired, dude.
you're fired. You're gonna be fired if you don't have it. You're fired. What was your favorite? So of like the little like segments of the matches. So you had where he's like doing his debut. They got the Saturday night's main event with Johnny Large Arms or Johnny Large Meat. His Doctor of Thugonomics, the NWO, and like the final parts and whatnot. What were the favorites of yours, if you had favorites? Sorry, were you, Kyle?
Okay. I think when they were switching through the different eras and the John Cena switching costumes and shit, I liked that. I thought that was, and the editing was neat. I like the editing and the way that they like cut back and forth between the same lines between the two. You know, I liked that. That was creative. That was fun. Put me in the moment.
But yeah, right. My favorite was the Saturday night's main event. Him just being like my man Johnny Large Meat, and he just fucking comes in with the fucking dumbbells. What about you there, Cheesy?
I think I like the Doctor of Thugonomics the best. You know, Word Life.
Yeah, I mean, thugonomics are your favorite form of economics.
Yeah, I was really proud of them for taking that on in school rather than macro or microeconomics. I think thugonomics is definitely something everyone should learn.
Yeah, micro looks at the smaller businesses, macros bigger things. Thugonomics looks at the streets.
Yeah,
and street cred. How would you rate John Cena's rapping in this match?
I'd give it a 10 out of 10 because you know it's John Cena.
Yeah, okay, great.
If you rate him lower in anything, then how can you disagree with John Cena?
He brought props. He had the nuts to the face.
Yes,
I did like
these
that.
Nuts.
These nuts to the face. I did like that throughout the whole thing, and this is a testament to Cena's acting ability, which has been on display the last year and a half or so, especially comedy wise. But like him going through like the facial recognition of like, I have no control. I don't know what the fuck's going on right now. Like I can't say anything except ruthless aggression and try to slapping him, and I'm just gonna keep doing it even though it's failing. I'm realizing that I have no control of my arms, and now my arms are so tired I can't actually attack him. I'm stuck rapping. All right, well, you know what? I this I can do. I have, and like him slowly getting back the control of the situation until, you know, he basically is revealed to be like, nah, that you never did have control. Like you've been punching this pig this whole time. Like I think John Cena is just a good actor, good performer, and I want him in more movies. I mean, he's got that Peacekeeper series on HBO Max.
Yeah, I'm super excited for that. That'll be fantastic.
I haven't seen the new. I need to watch the new Suicide Squad.
Oh my god, dude, it's so good. It redeems that fucking name 100%, 1000%.
I didn't hate the first one. I'm glad that they didn't. I'm glad that they didn't completely retcon everything. Like, I'm glad that they still have Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn and the dude as like the commander. But like,
Right.
I'm very glad we don't have to deal with 30 feet Aztec gods. And whatever the fuck Enchantress was doing.
Yeah, I don't want to see the original one ever again.
Yeah.
I'm good.
What about the video game? You excited for the video game?
That'd be cool. That could be cool if they did it well, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Who's producing it?
I want to say Square, but I could be wrong. Let's see. Suicide Squad game. This is Kill the Justice League. It is it's Rocksteady.
Oh, okay, cool.
My squad, bro. I
Yeah,
love them.
Your squad.
it's a
They made the other Arkham games. Which
it's apparently a continuation of the Arkham series.
Oh, okay, cool.
So that's pretty cool.
Nice. Exciting.
Coming out in 2022. Trying to see if they have a date. Nope, just saying it in 2022. Okay, that's good. I think I'm excited now that for some reason I thought it was Square, and I don't understand why I thought it was Square.
They made Guardians though.
That you know what that might have been it was the fact that they were yeah. Apparently that's all right. I haven't heard I haven't heard bad things about that. Yeah, John Cena is a funny guy. I hope they I don't think Peacekeeper is in this. I know I've seen Captain Boomerang.
It's supposed to get a series, Peacekeeper. John Cena's Peacekeeper.
Yeah. I just, from the promotional stuff, he was 100% the star of all of the stuff. He's like, I want peace, and I'll kill everybody I have to, and I need to.
Yeah, he's the best, man. Yeah, you should watch it. It's really good.
All right, yeah, I might do that at some point this week, since it's the holiday.
Hell yeah!
And gluttony as
yeah. Let's go.
Let's go. What do you get? I mean, this is gonna be months after the fact, but you guys excited for Thursday?
Oh yes.
I'm not even doing much, man. But yeah, I mean, I do. I mean, every day's the same for me right now, buddy. You have to remember that.
Yeah, fair. Well, this one's different. Now you get to eat turkey.
Sure. Yeah, I guess. I'm not really doing much though, so it should be pretty chill
fair.
for me.
That's good.
Yeah, but it should be a good day. Yeah, a good day.
Hell yeah.
It's my annual eat until I'm sick day with my brother, who also does the same thing.
Is it just actively just go until? Are you gonna be like the Sacramento Kings fan who just vomited all over the court?
No, I won't go that far, but it will be delicious, and I'm looking forward to it.
That's good. That's good. What's the number one go to? What's the first thing you're grabbing, Cheesy?
Oh, it's a tough one, but I'd probably have to say stuffing is one of my all-time favorites.
Okay.
Good quality.
I really like honey ham.
Do you do ham and turkey or just ham?
Just ham. I'm not a big turkey guy. If it's deep fried turkey, I like that, but I don't know what it is about turkey, but I just don't really like regular turkey. I don't know.
Only if it's served at a Renaissance fair covered in sauce.
Yes, exactly. Perfect. That's what I need to. That's what I need to bring to the Thanksgiving dinner is it's turkey from the Renaissance Festival.
Just a single leg, maybe two, right? All right, this is everybody else's. This one is just mine.
Exactly.
All right, so let's get wrapping up here. It is a little late, but it is good conversation, good time with the homies. Final thoughts on the Firefly Fun House match from Wrestlemania 36. Kyle.
Go ahead. It has me interested in wanting to watch more wrestling, man.
Okay.
Definitely.
All right.
It makes me want to see what else is. I gotta be willing to watch the next Wrestlemania, our next in-person wrestling match.
Yeah. Cheesy. What about yourself? Final takeaways and whatnot.
I think that was a lot of fun, and I think, like Kyle said, I'd probably want to watch more of it after being more exposed to it, because I've only really watched it maybe once with my dad, and that was about it. So I thought that was cool to see how far it's come, I guess.
Nice. All right, I'll note it. I'll keep that in mind. I'll be like, oh hey, I'm hosting the show if you guys want to come by. I think we got the next one's day one on New Year's Day, but I'm not. I'll be too fucking tired to be watching that.
Yeah.
Or I should say, I'll be watching it. I'll have no energy to be like, hey, I'm going to go through the hassle of setting it up so people can watch it in the Discord.
I'll be there right with you. I understand.
But as we wrap up here, Cheesy, one last time, tell the people what you got going on, or or plug some causes and such that you want to help raise awareness to, and then Kyle as well. But Cheesy first. We go alphabetically here, and we respect the alphabet here. We're big fans of the alphabetic order. We don't question it because it just makes sense, I guess. I don't know. Cheesy, floor is yours.
I'd really like everyone to donate to my cause of being a professional Halo Infinite player, going forward into the future. And you can follow me on at the Real Cheesy on pretty much every social media source that you can ever find.
Great cause. I support this cause. With Big Cheesy Pro. Kyle, what about you?
So you can find me pretty much everywhere, man. PostCubie everywhere. But Facebook, I make content from time to time, and that's where you can find it.
How goes the skateboarding?
Good, man. It's going well.
Good. I saw you were gonna do a stream, but it was chilly. It was. I can attest to the chilliness. In
Tidbit
Pennsylvania.
nipply.
A tidbit nipply, indeed. Thank you guys for coming on. I appreciate it. I'm glad to have exposed you to some of the dorkier stuff within professional wrestling, and glad to hear that it has drummed up a little bit of interest into seeing what else the product currently has to offer. That's always a plus.
Definitely, man. It was a good time. Thank you for inviting us.
Yeah, this was super fun, dude. I really enjoyed this.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah, brother.
Hell yeah, brother. I can't wait to. I'll get you guys on again in the future. As I've told many guests, I like the idea of mixing it up in the future, and to the point where you're with people you don't know at all, other than me, and we're just having a good time, all joking about professional wrestling and the dorky shit that happens in it. Love you guys. Thank you guys for coming on.
Yee, love you too.
Yeah, definitely. Love you too, man.
Super fun.
We shall.
Thank you again.
And we'll have you back here on the Dork Side of the Ring podcast.
Yeah.
Hey, thank you to Cheesy and to Kyle for coming on. Give them a follow again. You can go find Cheesy on the Twitter at The Real Cheesy. That's Cheesy with an EY, not just a Y at the end. You can also follow Kyle at PostCubie on Twitter. They're both on Twitch, twitch.com/cheesy and twitch.com/postcubiclekyle. Simple as that. You go find them, follow it when they're live. Cheesy just returning live. Just had his first stream back, as he said. Yesterday, as I'm recording this, which is the 15th he had it. Today's the 16th I'm recording this. The first day out of the isolation, I'm about to be outside. Not really. I'm just going to be able to enter the world again. Post-COVID for me. And it is again, go get vaccinated, get your boosters, wear your mask, distance. I say this all the time when I create content. I do it all the time in real life. You just never know, and trust me, it is not worth it. Not worth it to be like, well, at least I get, natural, organic antibodies, which, yeah, you do, but also you have to deal with COVID, and it's not fun. I can only imagine what the unvaccinated people are doing, and if you are somebody who cannot get the vaccine because of medical reasons, you know what? I'm hoping soon that there's a vaccine made for you, and where everybody around can be, I would prefer everybody to be just vaccinated, right? So that the people who can't get a vaccination because of medical reasons, for one reason or another, don't have to be living constant fear that everybody they talk to might, accidentally transmit, a disease that they cannot, survive. But yeah, wash your hands, wear your masks, social distance, 6 feet. Don't be up on people in the grocery store. If people are up on you, ask them to back the fuck up. And if they don't want to back the fuck up, give them your spot in line and give yourself 6. It's just simple as that. Look, hey man, back up. Can you back up 6 feet? Can you just not be on top of me? It's a global pandemic. No? All right, cool. Have my spot then. Because I don't want you up on me like that. I've done it. It's happened. It's just easier to do that if they don't. Anyways, look, hey, enough of that. Next week, we've got a fun episode. It's the first one where I'm like, wow, this episode, what we're covering, is actually an anniversary episode of something that happened. Next week, it is myself, Jayhawk, and Courtney Raptor, two of my friends from Twitch, two fantastic Twitch mods. From Jayhawk's a mod for myself. You see him in my Discord. Courtney is a member of the community. But both of them also modding for many former guests, Pyre and Johnner and Citra and just, a bunch of people. That's what happens here. You get a lot of your friends. It's a good episode. It's a fun thing. I just recorded the other night. There's a fun story about what happened right before I was about to hit record, and it's a good one. We're talking about the Undertaker versus Yokozuna casket match from the January 24th, 1994 Royal Rumble. It is what happens at the end and how we get there is really, the match itself is just it's fine, it's whatever, but it's really what happens is kind of like, what? And it's worth the listen to. It's a lot of fun. So that's next week's episode. After that, we've got the boys Max Cerrone and Big Weezy coming through the next week on the 31st to talk about JBL versus Godzilla. I'll give those because those are the only two episodes I have recorded. Being off for 2 weeks hurt. It hurt me because I could have been 6 weeks ahead, and now I'm only 2 weeks ahead. So that's unfortunate for me, but more importantly for you, you still get the content every week here for free on the Dork Side of the Ring channel, wherever you're listening to, if you're listening to it on the Spotify, listen on the Apple Podcast, Stitcher, what else do we got here? I don't know. Maybe even YouTube. Maybe I put these up on YouTube soon. Who knows? Probably, maybe. We'll do that, but we also have several other things. Who knows where we're going to be, but I know I will be here next week. I'll also be on the Patreon, support.grum.tv. You get your content early, not for free, but early, and paid, benefits such as credits on some of my content, the ability to hang out and talk during my live streams of content. You're not getting that kind of access anywhere else from any content creator. You should, though, because it's very profitable. If I was a bigger creator in terms of I would absolutely still do this. And, you just have like a 7-second delay or shit like that. You also have the Dorkside content next week. I think actually probably should have been this weekend, and I might have fucked it up. But next weekend, you're gonna get some Dorkside live watch reactions and the such, and just some good stuff overall. Over on the Patreon, support.grum.tv. You can also just go to grum.tv. That's the Discord. Updates you everything. I redid everything. It's nice and clean. I like it. It's the way I want it to be. Simple as that. Grum.tv for my Discord, for live streams and the community updates of all my content. All there. Thank you so much. Remember to follow us on Twitter. Follow us on Instagram. @DorksideRing. @IamGrum is my personal Twitter and Instagram. I appreciate it. Thank you guys for listening. I will see you guys next week. Myself, Courtney Raptor, Jayhawk Beermaker, talking about the Undertaker versus Yokozuna casket match from 1994 Royal Rumble. Until next time, I want you guys to remember that we don't take wrestling too seriously here, because wrestling is at its best when no one is taking it seriously. I love you. Go get vaccinated, wear your mask, wash your hands, be smart. And if no one said it to you today, allow me to be the first one to say it to you. I love you. And I'll see you next week here on the Dork Side of the Ring podcast.